Hello and welcome to How a Teacher Uses AI to Create a Year's Worth of Bell Ringers. I'm Mary Howard and I'm really excited to bring this idea to you today. I am a 6th grade teacher and I'm nationally board certified, and I've also authored a book on artificial intelligence to streamline your teacher life. If you're interested, I share lots of my ideas on these social media channels, so feel free to follow. So let's get started. To get your project started, you need some sort of bell ringer slide that you're going to be working with as your home base. This is mine that I've designed in Canva. At the top of my slide, I'm going to have some text that's some sort of daily inspirational quote for my students. I've got my name already pre-printed on there. Then we're going to have day and dates run for every single day of the school year. We're going to have some sort of warm-up riddle for the students that's age appropriate. And of course, we're going to have a joke of the day at the bottom that's also age appropriate. And then we're going to leave these 3 sections blank because each day when I come into the classroom, those are the things I'm going to be filling out on a day-to-day basis. So it's pretty much impossible to pre-plan all of those items. The next thing we're going to need to do is use some form of AI to help us generate the items that we want for our Bellwork slide. Again, for mine, I'm going to have AI generate about 180, maybe even 190 inspirational quotes that are school appropriate. I'm going to also ask AI to generate some riddles for my students. I'm going to again ask AI to generate a joke of the day. And then finally, we're going to have a day and date that AI generates for us. And then I'm going to show you how we can add all of them to bulk create our slides. Our ultimate goal is to have this slide generated again and again and again on Canva with different information on each different slide. So for step number 1, I've decided to start with the dates. And here's the prompt that I used. Starting on August 31st, 2025, make me a table that includes the day of the week in the first column, the date and year in a second column. As you generate your list, do not include any Saturdays or Sundays. Do this until June 29th, 2026. Now, needless to say, I have more than 180 days here. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to give me more possible bell ringer slides than I need. So what ChatGPT returned for me was the start of a data table. And so here it is. We've got our first column with the day of the week, our second column with the date. Our next step in this process is going to be to ask ChatGPT to generate inspirational quotes. And what you're going to notice here is that we have a growing spreadsheet. Each time I make a request, it is adding that to my spreadsheet. So for this one, please generate a list of inspirational quotes suitable for 6th graders. Make enough for each date you've provided. I put this in a spreadsheet column. So it continued to give me the day of the week and the date that I already generated, and now it is adding those inspirational quotes, and they're great. They're perfect for my 6th graders. Each one is something motivational and inspirational. You could ask it to do authentic ones and including authors. I didn't do it this time, but you can certainly customize your prompt to be something a little bit more what you'd want. Now, continuing on, we want this spreadsheet to grow. So our data table now is going to have riddles because in my bell ringer, I had a riddle section. So here it says, please generate easy to answer riddles suitable for 6th graders for each day of the school year. Pardon my typo. And now our spreadsheet continues. We've got the day, the quote, and now we've got those riddles. But here I have a problem. These riddles include the solution, and I don't want that to show. So I'm going to do a little follow-up prompt telling it to make the riddle solution a second column. You'll see why in a little bit. And so it's a simple prompt, make the answer to the riddle separate. So here's our data table again. Our riddle is now here, and the riddle answer is here. Much better. That's what I want. Finally, we need a joke of the day, because if you remember, at the bottom of that bell work was a joke of the day section. So I want those jokes, of course, to be suitable for 6th graders and added to our spreadsheet. So after it generates, we get our riddle, and now we've got the same mistake again, but it's easy to fix. We have our joke of the day. Why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek? Haha, because he was always spotted, but I don't want the solution here. I want it in a separate column. So I'm just going to do another follow-up prompt. Please add the joke answer in a separate column. And I've got the spreadsheet I want. I have all of these fields filled out because next we're going to be putting each one of these things on individual slides for our bell ringers. And now that I have all of my columns filled out, I am ready to download this table as a CSV in Canva and make the magic happen. In order to do that, we need to access this section right here. It's called Bulk Create. Mine is on my main screen. Yours might not be there if you've never used it. You might have to go up here to the Apps section and look for the Bulk Create tool. Once you've found the Bulk Create tool, we're going to upload that sheet that we downloaded. What I mean by that is we saved our ChatGPT responses as a CSV file. We're going to upload that data into Canva. So now what we have is we have all of these different data fields, and what we're going to have to do is connect each one of these data fields to specific spots on this bell ringer or bell work template. So first we have the day of the week. So I have a spot right here on this template for day of the week. So when I click on this spot and I click these three dots and then I find connect data, this is when we're going to connect the day of the week to that field on this particular template page. We're going to do the same thing for each one of these. So next we have the date. We're going to go to date and we are going to connect data and we're going to click the date. All right, moving up here, this is where we want to add our inspirational quote. So we click on this, click the three dots, connect data, inspirational quote. Down here, we have our warm-up, also known as the riddle question. So we're going to be doing two pieces of data that we're going to be connecting to this. So first, we want the riddle question to be the thing that appears on the page. So we're going to click this, and we're going to connect that data, and that's going to be our riddle question. Now, I don't want the riddle answers to be showing when I show this bell work slide. So what I like to do is I like to kind of hide it underneath. So underneath here, I'm going to connect the riddle solution, and then I'm going to cover it up. So connect data, and we'll do the riddle answer. So it'll be there, it just won't be visible when the slide is showing. And I'm going to do the same thing with the joke of the day. So we're going to connect this joke question field, and then we're going to hide an answer underneath and connect that data. And then we're going to cover it back up. So now we have each one of our spreadsheet fields connected with a field on our bell ringer page. Now we're ready to click continue. As you can see, it's now going to be populating a new page with all of this data with every single day of the school year, and it's going to be generating 216 designs. What that means is this whole page is going to be regenerated again and again and again as a new page. So I'm going to click and make the magic happen. So you can see on the top of the screen has now created a new folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that new folder and find the new file with all of my bell work in it. By opening up our new file that was just created, we can see the magic. So here we have our September 1st slide, 2nd, and as you can see, each one of these is a unique slide with all of the information that ChatGPT generated for us.